This is Vicki Romaine with Cheerful Greetings, and today we're going to do cool card number 4, and this really is a cool card, and I hope you like it. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the envelope. It's a 6x6. I really like working with 6x6. However, sometimes it costs you more to mail it. But this is a great card to set up and admire. And if you want to send something special to someone, enclose this card because it's really neat. And this is what it looks like I said, when it comes out of the envelope. And this is how you open it up. You mash it down and then open it up like this. And then it sits up like this. Of course, it's kind of hard to see with the camera where it is. And then to close it up, you push it up and you slide your piece through and then roll it up. Now let's look at this one. This one, I put a little lace on, and you fold it like this and open it up, and that's where it is. A lot of my cards right now are having stripes on it because I've got so much striped cardstock. I want to try to use it up. So you'll see stripes for quite a while now because I want to try to use it up. And then this is how you fold it up, like this. And it will stay as long as you let this stay glued in place without messing with it. As I said, I added a little paper lace to that one. And I like this with the butterflies. And there again, you'll see my stripes. Now, on the back of this card, you don't put anything unless you want to put a piece of white cardstock or white paper so you can write your note back here. Because you really don't write a note on the front unless you want to, maybe over here or over here. That's entirely up to you where you put your note. But I don't really put anything on the back because you don't really see it. Okay, let's see how we make this. As I said, this is a 6x6, and I can also make this, forgot to close it up. I can also make this in a 5x7, but we're going to do a 6x6 today. I have a piece of cardstock. It's 6x12. In other words, I cut a piece of 12x12 cardstock in half, and that's what I have here. Okay, the first thing we're going to do now is score our cardstock. This is fairly thick cardstock. So we're going to start here. I've got it against the board and put it straight. In case you want to know what this line is here, I did this on purpose. This is 4 1/4 line because you use it so often that I got tired of looking at it. And many times it would be up a piece of cardstock that was too long, and so I needed to know which row was 4 1/4. Okay, and I've just about worn the ink off of it, so I'm gonna have to redo it. Okay, let's get back to our card. I'm gonna start with 1/2 inch. There we go. And since this takes a lot of movement, you may want to go through and score it on both sides in the same spot. But by the time we get through, it will be well pressed. Okay, let's start over again. The one I just did was a 1/2 inch. Now we're going to do 3 inches. 5.5, 6.5, 9, and 11.5. Now with this being 11.5, let's see, I kind of moved on me. Let me do this again, make sure. And that little area will be covered up. You'll never notice it. It slipped on me. Okay, we started out with a 1/2 inch, and we ended up with a 1/2 inch. So now let's fold. As I said, if you want to, you can go on the back side and repeat the measurements again. But we're just going to take our time here and fold it. So let's go this way first. I'm folding between the second and the third piece. Now, this 1/2 inch, I'm going to fold backwards. You want to take your time and make sure you don't have it crooked. So this is kind of hard cardstock to work with because it's so thick. On this one, go back and score, make sure we're good on it. There we go. Okay, we've got 2 folds now. Let's go to this side. And fold it over. And you want to really press down and burnish your folds. And this one. Now we have 2 pieces in the middle. 2 score marks in the middle. We'll press it here. We'll go back and get the other side. Now you will see that the main thing on this is getting the measurements right on your card. After that, you've got it made pretty much. So here's the way our card will stand up, just like this. Okay? And I think I'm going to push this back. What I'm doing now is bending the cardstock the opposite direction because this is so thick. Okay, now we're through with the scoring. As I said, you do the 5x7 the same way. The only difference is you have different measurements. Okay. On the ones I did here, I used paper. That was paper I've had a right good while. As I say, I want to use it up. On this one, I used cardstock. And you can't really tell any difference, except this is a little heavier than this one, but not by much. Okay, I'm going to be using cardstock this time. Now remember, we scored the edges a 1/2 inch. So if you were to take 1/4 off, what is that going to leave you? That's going to leave you 1/4 inch. And that's what I'm going to put this on as, 1/4 inch. I'm using Aleene's glue, turbo glue. I put it in a small bottle with a small hole, and I thinned it a little bit. So it would come out easy. Okay, since I put the silver on this side, I'm going to do the same on the other side. And you want to have a little border on each side. Okay, next I have double-sided cardstock. So this time I'm going to use both sides of the cardstock. I'm going to, on my outer edge, I'm going to glue this piece up with the medallions on it. With the flowers. Can't really tell what they are because they're in pieces. But there we go. When you first put this together, I found that it really didn't look very nice. But it was after I got it together that I liked it. And this glue doesn't allow for much sliding, so you have to pick it up if you don't like where it landed. Okay, this time I'm going to have the other piece, the other side sticking up. Let's put a little glue in here. So we'll put the glue on this here. go. Now our center. I'm going to put this. This is just to give it a little glitz to it, little shine. Not much, because this is not very shiny paper. Now, I want a little more. Of this paper on it to kind of give it a little more unity. You can't tell it, but that's what I did with the other two. I had a 3/4 of an inch, and then I put a 1/2 inch on top of it. Okay. Now we'll go back and we'll repeat it. Okay, you can see it's coming together now fairly well. Okay, now that I've got the silver on the ends and the other pieces on, I'm going to go back and put the silver on the other side. On this one I did at the top, and this one I did on the bottom, so we're going to do the top on this side now. We'll just open this up and put it down. There we go. Now on this side, did it on the top, so let's do it on the bottom. I'll just turn it over because I've got to get it so it'll turn over anyway. So we'll put a piece there. Mesh this down. And put it here. Now you don't have to put anything here. I just wanted something to kind of set it apart. So we've got both sides of the flap, on each side. Now we're going to turn it over. Now here's where you have to choose. You can either put something all the way across. You can put white all the way across. I would not recommend the white. You'll see why in a minute. I would recommend putting this on the outer edges and leaving the center white so you can write a message there. And you can put a piece of copy paper or cardstock in here. But if you do, don't forget, you're going to have to press it, score it. So it has that scored mark and can move with the basic card. But let's see, I think I want to turn this way and this one this way. That way the little dab of white will be at the top on this side. So we're going to put these in. As I said, what you do to the back, you know, you have plenty of choices. You can just put one little strip of paper, or you can cover the whole thing with cardstock and put just a little square to put a sentiment or a place to write a note. After you make a card, you can decide what you want to do. The cards that I'm making now, I'm going to give it to a couple people who would probably stand them up so that they could view them at a later date, you know, so they can admire them. Okay, let's do the same thing on this side. You can make these as a sick card, and that gives you something for them to admire while they're in bed, or, you know, it's your card. You can decide what you want to do. Okay, since this is kind of at the white end, I'm going to make this one near the white end. We just put it in here. Try to get it straight. There we go. Here's our card now with all the pattern paper on it, pattern cardstock, a little silver in the middle, silver on the edges. Now I have another idea of something I want to do, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let's fold this up like this. And don't forget, this goes down like this. Okay, now that we've got this just about finished, I've got two embellishments I could use, one or the other. Here's the flower. Here's the one that clocks. And I'm not sure which one I like better. But I did want to point, I think I'll go with the clocks since the circles here and circles here. I do want to point out that these are on three-dimensional. I don't know where I got these. I don't know if somebody gave them to me. I don't know if they were cut off of a card, a commercial card, or what. I don't know where I got them. But since we've got to put my centerpiece on dimensionals, this is already perfect because it's got a dimensional on here, and there's no way I can get them off. But there's no sticky on it. Well, there's a little, very little though, because they've been laying around at least a couple of years. So what I'm going to do is put some glue on it and let that set up. This one, I don't know if I can move it or not. I don't think so. It's kind of off to one side. We'll see how that sits on the card. I do want to add this one other thing, though, and that's some lace, so that it's similar to this one here. Has the lace on it. I kind of like that idea. So what I'm going to do is make sure my lace is right at the fold. Okay, so let's put a little dab of glue on here. I'm going to, the lace is, when I cut it, it's a die cut. When I ran the die cut. It was this size. So I don't need it that long. Now I'm going to look at it closely and decide which is the right side. This is the right side up. This is the right side up. So I'm going to start it here, and I'll go as far as this point right here. And I think that's going to work out, hopefully. And I'm going to go all the way to the end, to the card. I'm going to let this, if it sits over a little bit, I'll come back and trim it. Now the key to this, excuse me, is I want it to sit right on that fold. So let's let it be sitting upright, and this one is upright. So let's put some glue on it and we'll go from there. Now I definitely want my glue at the top of my lace. Now on this one, the other one, I just put a little dab of glue here and there. I didn't really put the glue at the bottom of the lace very much. I just kind of put some glue so that, you know, it would stick, but not necessarily just for the whole thing to be down, so it'd have a little play in it. Okay, what I'm going to do here is take the card and fold it this way and put my lace on. And I'm covering up that border. That's what I'm doing. The border that's on the one side, so I only have the half border. Okay, let's do the same thing on this side. I'm going to put glue down the top, all the way down the top, because I want to make sure it sticks on the ends, and then I'll just kind of hodgepodge it down through here. Okay, put a little bit on the end. Now this time I'm going to fold it on this side, and I'm going to make it right at the top of that fold. Let's see if we got it there. Now let's see if it folds back. You don't want to do a lot of folding back and forth till everything is stuck down permanently. Okay, I decided to go with the clocks, since it's all these circles and everything. And I do it with the clocks at the bottom and clocks at the top. I think I'm going to have it at the bottom. I may decide to put something up here. I doubt it, but I may. So I'm going to glue this down. Now what I'm doing here is putting a lot of glue on these dimensionals. I have no idea where they came from. And then I have to decide exactly where I want to put it. And we should put it right here. I want to make sure this is at the center. It's at the center. I'm going to press down and hold it. Now, this is my card. I'm not going to move it around much because this has not had a chance to set up. Now, when we have it completely finished, this will pop out like this. And now this may fall off because, like I said, it's not glued yet. I'm going to let this come out like that, and this out like this, and then I'm going to put my well, this one did come off, which is good because it was over to the side and I didn't need it at the side. Now what I'm going to do here is put it back on. Let's see. Now I'm going to let this one sit here like this because I want it to dry and harden up, because if I put this in now, it'll move like it did a few minutes ago. And I'll have to glue it again. Okay, here's my card. And I think it will be very pretty when we close it up. It's going to have this in the middle, like this on the front. I'm going to leave this one open because it needs to dry overnight or it'll pop right off. But you've got your dimensionals underneath there. And it'll be just like this one here. It'll be, the design will be in the center of the fold card, same here. Now on this one, I've got lace on the outside of the card. On this one, I put lace on the inside of the card. You can do it either way, or if you want to, you can put lace on both of them, both places. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please come back and see me and see what cool card number 5 is going to be. In the meantime, have a great crafting day. And don't forget, please subscribe. Bye.